ilaha illallah and you are practically on ground, seeing, practicalizing what is la ilaha illallah as a Muslim. Then in the part of da'wah, there is a particular characteristic of da'i, which is patience. If you are not patient, you can't go to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It comes with so many responsibilities and demand. Your time, your wealth, you sacrifice everything as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, hal adullukum ala tijaratin tunjikum min adhabin alim, tu'minuna billah wa tujahiduna fi sabilillah, he said, amwalikum wa anfusikum. When you give your money, your wealth, you also have to go by yourself and do the da'wah. As all of you left your schedules, your responsibilities, but you want to listen to the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a da'iyah. As a da'iyah, you need that so that when you are not patient, some will provoke you intentionally. Some will even call you names. Maybe somebody as your friends who know your child when you grew up together. And all of us, when we flash back to our life back, we discover that we made a lot of mistakes when we are young. But that doesn't mean that somebody cannot repent and change and do the right thing. But those that knows your life back, they say, look at her. This is somebody that I know her 10 years back, but today she's the one saying, Allah said, don't mind her, she's not serious. So as a da'iyah, you have to be patient, you have to exercise patience. As a da'iyah, you have to be patient and then persevere. Because if you are not persevering what you are feeling, what you are encountering during the da'wah, at the end of the day, you will even end up saying, okay, I'm no more doing it. And that is their own goal and target, is to take you away from the da'wah that you are doing so that you become the same as Shaitan always wants. إِنَّمَا يَدْعُ حِزْبَهُ لِيَكُونُ مِنْ أَصْحَابِ السَّعِيرِ. He always called to part of his own side so that all people will now at the end of the day will go to hell. And where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling us to go to where? To Al-Jannah. Then in da'wah, we don't think that all of us should do the same thing or the same activities in the part of da'wah. In da'wah, we need everybody. We need engineers, we need doctors, we need lawyers, we need security agencies. We need everybody in da'wah. Da'wah is a division of labor. The engineer will provide their own knowledge of engineering. The doctors will go out for da'wah, providing medical assistance to those that we are calling to be part of Islam. And in da'wah, there are people you don't need to preach to them. What you need to do, go to them, give them the little you have, and then you win their heart. And whatever you ask them to do, they will do it. Now, in this division of labor, Mallam made emphasis, especially on the da'i by what? Words. By calling to people, reading hadith and Quran. Mallam emphasized especially the knowledge of what you are going to say. Even if you don't need to be Mallam, maybe like big scholars that Mallam mentioned, like Sheikh Tajuddin and Dr. Umar Rijal, Sheikh Jafar, or other big scholars, and Mallam himself as a big scholar, as a hafiz of the Quran. You don't need to be like them before you do the da'wah, but what you need to do, as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, بَلِّغُوا عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً. Propagate, preach the little you know from me, even if it is a verse. What does that mean? That ayah that you know, you must know it completely, not half-assed. Not that you just recite ayah and then you cannot even pronounce it properly, talk of the translation. That is not what it means. If you are to talk of the meaning of wal asr, inna al-insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr, you should know the real translation of that chapter. Then you can now reach out to others and then preach to them the meaning of that surah. That is the meaning of da'wah. That's the meaning of ballighu anni walau ayah. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said as a da'i, من رأى منكم منكرا فليغيره بيده فإن لم يستطع فبلسانه فإن لم يستطع فبقلبه فذلك أضعف الإيمان. In doing the da'wah, it has stages. If you are not up to the stage of using your what, your power, maybe you are not in the security agencies, like preventing crime in the society, then you can do the talk. So you don't just jump from one stage to another while you cannot be able to practically implement that stage in da'wah. If you cannot recite Quran or Hadith, then you can use your money. You can use your other knowledge as you said, engineers and others. You can even use your power. Maybe it is a structure, maybe a masjid, maybe in a community that you go for da'wah, then they see you pulling off your clothes. As somebody that came to donate for them, you are part of them doing the work, you encourage them to do it, you have done the da'wah. So da'wah has stages. The Mallam made mention of topic to start with as a da'iyah. You want to call people to Islam. There are stages, there are topics by topic that you need to follow. First and foremost, as a da'iyah, you must teach people the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the tawheed. And these are the topics that all prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. That is the first thing that they preached. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he spent 13 years in Mecca preaching only one thing, which is tawheed. La ilaha illallah. They should believe in Allah. Believe in Allah, believe in Allah. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sent one of the companions to go and preach to people, he said, فَلْيَكُنْ أَوَّلَ مَا تَدْعُهُمْ إِلَيْهِ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. First thing, preach to them about what? The kalimat of tawheed. If they believe in it, then you now talk to them about prayers, and that is how you preach. For instance, you go to the village where people don't know about Islam and start teaching about zakat. They will think you are here to collect their money. You are here to make money out of them. They will not believe you. You talk to them about fasting. These are people who don't know Islam. And you are telling them not to eat from morning till evening. They will not believe you. So you start from known to unknown. Just like a teaching in a classroom as a teacher where you want to teach. You start from known to unknown. For instance, you can't come to the city and you want to start teaching, talk about what? Transportation by what? Donkey. Because in the city they don't know it. You start from train, aeroplane, cars. These are things they know in the city. You can't go to the village and start talking about transportation by air or by train. They don't know it. What they know is donkey. What they know is horses and camels. You start from known to unknown as a da'iyah. The Mallam talked about the meaning of what? Articles of Iman, which is the La ilaha illallah. You now talk them about it. The meaning of, and among which knowledge, then believing, that is sincerity. As a da'iyah, you talk about sincerity, then you talk about what? Acceptance. As a da'i, you must accept the part of the da'wah, what you are going to encounter. And also, as a da'iyah, let you be a role model and as an exemplary leader. Because whatever you do, sometimes people don't look at what you are saying, but people look into what you do. And even sometimes they go extreme of finding out how to live in your own house with your spouses. They dig to find out. When you talk, they say, don't mind her. Yesterday I went to her, so I quarreled with her husband. What is she going to tell us today? That is people for you. They take those that are doing the da'wah as angels and prophets. They don't make mistakes. They have forgotten that they are also human. They have flesh and blood in them. So as a da'iyah, you must not be absent-minded of such that will come from people. Prepare your mind on how to tackle such in case of what? When it happens. Now as a da'iyah, you must remain firm in whatever you are doing. No matter what the challenge is. You have to remain firm and then make sure you propagate the real dua of Islam. Then he talked about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you really want to preach about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there are certain things that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to believe. And how do we go about it? There are 4 stages. All the teaching of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam fall under these 4 stages. First, ta'atu fi ma'am. Obey Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in all what he commanded us to do as Muslims. We obey him. Do this, we do it. Wa tasdiqu fi ma akhbar. Trusting, believing what the Prophet have given an example. Like hellfire, none of us have seen it. We as Muslims, we believe there is hellfire. We never see Al-Jannah, we believe there is Al-Jannah. And all this, we must believe as Muslims. وَاجْتِنَابُ مَا نَهَى عَنْهُ وَزَجَرَ. Abstaining as much as possible, completely from what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has enjoined us not to do. And then the last one is وَأَلَّا يُعْبَدَ اللَّهَ إِلَّا بِمَا شَرَعَ. Never worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala except with what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, through the teaching of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala out of the teaching of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu it is not an ibadah. And you have never worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all. What you did is your own self-desire, and you will not be rewarded in the day of Qiyamah. As a da'i, you have what you call successes of da'wah. Every da'i want to record successes in his life or her life. But remember that these successes can never come except what? With unity. If you are not united, you will not achieve success. Mallam gave the example of what happened during the Battle of Uhud when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked some companions to remain on the mountain of Uhud. For some of us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us to see the mountain with our two naked eyes, we've seen it where He asked them to stand because the Uhud fall in the middle of the Uhud field. So there's likelihood that the Kuffar of Makkah will likely follow through the backside and attack them from the back when they are facing the remaining half of the Kuffar. So He asked them to remain on that mountain, not to come down. But when they noticed that Muslims are winning, they decided to come down. Abdullah ibn Jubair, as their leader, he asked them not to do, but they didn't listen. As a result of that disunity, that fraction, what happened? The Muslims were restlessly dealt with. Some lost their path, some lost their life completely, like Hamza and others. Even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu lost his first two teeth. As that is the result of what? As a result of disunity. So unity in da'wah, it is very, very important. But we cannot achieve that unity as well except what? We are patient. Don't think that somebody just came in today to da'wah and he met me, and I'm the one that even started the women in da'wah. We are the first pioneers. Why will she be given a position that I have deserved? That is not in da'wah. Whoever deserves a position, as we said, if somebody that is more knowledgeable came in today, that person should lead, and then the most important is the success. It's not about who is leading, but the goal of the da'wah, so that the achievement of the da'wah will not suffer at the end of the day. Mallam gave us example of what you want to achieve as da'iyah, like other groups, like the way you want to achieve success. There are other groups, they want to make sure that your success is being truncated at all costs. And that is why theirs is not like our own that we are doing it openly. Today, da'wah, we publish it, we announce it, we spread it all through the social media. Mallam gave example of one program that is being championed by Bill Gates and his wife, Melinda Gates. They have something they call skygirlnigeria.com. Skygirlnigeria.com is www.skygirlng.com. Their target is to target the Muslims, girls, especially in the north. And they start with Sokoto, Kano, where the population of Muslims, densely populated, are Muslims. And they want to target it. What is their target? 18 to 19 years, probably 20 years. Why? Because that stage is the stage whereby a girl feels that now she has reached, she has come of age. Sometimes her mother will go talk to her, she feels like they are the same with the mother. So that is the children they are targeting, so that by the time they give them orientation of the so-called right, then they will not be what? They revolt against their parents, and that is their target. So it is our responsibility as da'iyah, we should know such groups and then know how to tackle such groups by propagating the real doctrine of Islam, and also is to do al-hikmah. وَدُعِ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة. We must imbibe a culture of what? A kind of wisdom in doing our da'wah. If you don't put wisdom in our da'wah, then the da'wah will not be achieved. The Mallam talked about al-hadaf, that is our goal. What do you want to achieve? As we said, success. But we can't achieve success except through unity. And then, purpose. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, man yuridu dunya wa minkum man yuridu al-akhirah. Don't expect that all of you that are doing the da'wah, that you have the same mind. Some have different thinking. Some even are the agent of the Satan outside, because devil knows that it has already finished with those that are doing party, those that are doing, it doesn't have time for them. it will not have time for you as a da'iyah. And then he can use some of us as a du'at in Islam. Then they will come in with their own ambition. If I'm not going to be leader, if I'm not going to get any position, let this team start up completely. So they will create problem and create what? Division among the du'at. So you must imbibe the culture of wisdom in settling such problems so that the da'wah will not have problem. And doing the da'wah, there are needs. And among those needs, of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu hal adullukum ala tijaratin tunjikum min adhabin alim, as we said earlier, tunjikum min adhabin saytu'minuna billahi wa rasulahu tujahiduna fi sabilillahi bi amwalikum. So wealth is very important and critical in da'wah. This program today ought to have not taken place without wealth. If nothing at all, it is wealth that brought people here. People fuel their cars. Some took taxi to come to the venue to listen. So in da'wah, wealth is very important and key. Self-sacrifice. And as a da'iyah, you must have what we call self-confidence. You must be confident in what you are doing. And then you must be satisfactory. You have to have self-satisfaction with what you have. The little Allah is giving you, you have to be contented. And in doing that contentment, sometimes we think that I must have millions of money before I do that. Let's assume from our earnings, our salaries, if you are salary earners, if you are a little businesswoman, the little you are earning knows how to spend. Sometimes we don't copy people's life. That's the problem where we are facing, because Mr. XYZ, we went to school together, we started work together. He's riding 2020 model, I must ride the same time. He's wearing so clothes, I must wear it. And you want to do da'wah, it is not possible. If your earning is 10,000, you should be able to spend 8,000 and reserve 2,000 for da'wah. You must not copy somebody that is earning 50,000. If you copy that person's life, you end up borrowing and then leaving your children liability behind. By the time you depart this world, you leave your family with liability. How many people today, at the end of the day, after thinking that their father or their mother has enough, at the end of the day, only it was borrowed from bank because they want to meet up with the lifestyle that they are used to. So as a da'iyah, you must not have such in your mind that I want to copy this, but remember that your aim and objective is to contribute little you can towards the development of our religion, Islam. Mallam gave references as a da'iyah, things that you need to go and read and study and have the knowledge. If you want to be a successful da'iyah, knowledge of Quran. And this knowledge of Quran, you try as much as possible, first know how to recite it, memorize, if possible, memorize the whole Quran, and even with different versions of recitation, because we have almost 10. We have Warsh, we have Hafs, we have Qanun, and so many. Mallam gave us example with the ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu in ja'akum fasiqun binaba'in fatabayyanu. In another verse, fatathabbatu. Now knowing the two recitation, if you don't understand the meaning of tabayyanu, now fatathabbatu have now told you the meaning of fatabayyanu. So if you are able to understand the meaning of Quran, then it will give you an edge above other da'i, so that you'll be able to do your da'wah propagated properly. Then hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We should know that as da'iyah, you need to know what are your maraja, the books that you need to revise, the books that you need to read, your references. The hadith we have, of course, this collection of collectors of hadith. We have Bukhari, Muslim, Nasai, Ibn Majah, and the rest. You should be able to know that this hadith, if it is Bukhari, is Bukhari. If it is Muslim, is Muslim. If it's Muttafaqun alayh, Bukhari and Muslim, is Bukhari and Muslim. If you don't know it, especially, we have our Android phone and other gadget we use. Sometimes we only browse and then read something on the net, and then the next thing we talk about what we read on the net. We have about, the other time, somebody was telling one Mallam when we are doing this kind of program, said there are more than 60 or 600 different un-Islamic websites. When you are reading from the beginning, they will tell you correct hadith, ayah, but putting in some things that if you are not knowledgeable enough, you will not understand. They will start with hadith, authentic, the way you know. We all know those hadiths. They will start with those hadiths that are always available. Most people know. In Islamia, we read them. So we should understand our hadith properly. Then he talked about the Sahaba. What was the companion, or what were the companion all right from the inception of Islam? What were their own way of propagating Islam? And the kind of knowledge that they have and the way they preach Islam, we must learn and read. Definitely as a da'iyah, you must have a mentor who you study his or her life that teaches you about what? The religion of Islam. The religion of Islam. So as a da'iyah, you have to do all this. So Mallam gave us a glad tidings at the beginning that this topic we are having it today, Mallam has already started, almost reached a conclusion stage. So what we advise, especially the women in Da'wah, by the time Mallam conclude writing the book, and the book is being published, then the next thing is we should call on scholars that we know they are fast in Hausa and English language, so that we sponsor the translation of those books into at least even these two languages and then other languages, so that Muslim Ummah will read and understand what is Da'i and then who is Hidayah and what do I need as a Da'iyah. This is the little I was able to gather from what Mallam have said in 1 hour. As I said initially, you invite an elephant to the stage and perform, then you invite an ant to come and perform the same. It will be very, very difficult. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our shortfalls in what we have said. And wherever I have said it correctly, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward each and every one of us and forgive our shortcomings. فسبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.